What's going on, everybody? Crazy Dog back with another live stream. And it's that time of year. We're officially in draft season. Mock drafts popping up all over the place. And you already know what time it is. It's time for my first Browns 4-round mock draft of the off season. I'm going to be doing 4 of these. This one, I'm doing one after the combine, one when free agency gets rolling, and of course, the one on draft day. And then, of course, I'll also be doing 2 full first-round mock drafts. So that should be fun. Now, you're probably most likely asking yourself right now, why is Crazy Dog doing it as a live stream? Well, actually, there's a really good reason why. Mainly because I don't got to worry about a time crunch. If I were to be doing this as a video, I would have to try to fit it all into a certain amount of time because my computer only has so much space in it. And there's been times where I've been making a fire video and all of a sudden I hear a click sound and I look and it said, oh, your computer ran out of space. And I'm left sitting there like, really? So that's why I do it as a live stream. Not to mention I get to interact with the people in the chat. By the way, what's going on, Sports Expert? Always in the chat. But got my mock draft on my phone right here. And we're going to get underway. So first pick of the draft for the Browns is the 10th overall selection. And you probably already know who that's going to be based off of the avatar or the wallpaper or the whatever thumbnail for this video. And for those who don't know who that is Andrew Thomas, tackle out of Georgia. That dude's an absolute bulldozer. For real. But yeah, with the 10th overall selection in the 2020 NFL Draft, I have the Cleveland Browns selecting left tackle. Well, I guess we probably put him at left tackle, but he's a tackle regardless. Andrew Thomas out of Georgia. Freaking amazing selection. I've heard a lot about this guy. This guy does not allow people to get past him. And of course, in case you don't know, this guy needs to be protected right here, man. We got to protect this guy. What I saw last year from our tackles was that's not it. Hubbard, he wasn't horrible, but Greg Robinson, and if you don't watch my streams, I always called him the Mr. Guaranteed one false start or holding call a game. Seems like every game. Holding. Offense number, what was it, 78 or whatever? You don't know how many times we've had a big play come back because of him. I remember 2 years ago in Houston, Baker hit Callaway on a huge touchdown pass. Freaking Greg Robinson got called for holding. Wow. But yeah, I think this would be huge. Of course, we also got a new offensive line coach, Bill Callahan, who is one of the best there is. And I really think he would turn Andrew Thomas into an absolute monster. Not to mention, he'd be going up against one of the most vicious pass rushers in the NFL today, who, by the way, just got reinstated because, yeah, he's been a good boy. Oh, man. But yeah, Myles Garrett was officially reinstated, in case you didn't watch my video from a couple of days ago. Good to see him back. He would give Andrew Thomas a workout every day in practice. We hired Scott Peters as yeah. Oh, yeah. First coaching job for him ever. He was like I can't remember exactly what else he's done. He was like a former player, I think. Yeah. I think he also did his own MMA program. But there's one common theme with our offensive line, with our line coaches, both Kiffin, Peters, and Callahan. They all preach technique. And when I hear technique, I just think of that scene from SpongeBob with Squidward, like, technique. Yeah, I know when they're blowing bubbles and stuff. Sign Conklin or Bulaga? I'm thinking Conklin. That's what I'm doing in free agency too, by the way. Go after go after a tackle, right or left, doesn't matter. Maybe you go after a guard. I could see us maybe trying to target Brandon Scherff, who, by the way, played with Bill Callahan as his coach, as offensive line coach as well. in Washington. But yeah, that's probably those two guys. I think Conklin. And the thing is, we could have drafted him, but of course we traded down. Yeah, I remember that. Yep, that was fun. Lovely. But yeah, I got us going Andrew Thomas with the first pick in our of our draft. So that would be fun if Conklin don't get franchise tag. I'm signing him and cut. No, I'm not cutting Vernon. Honestly, I don't know what we're going to do with Vernon. I mean, he'd be a free agent after this year. I mean, when he was actually on the field, he wasn't bad. And considering what else is out there, unless you want to try to get freaking Yannick Ngakoue, I wouldn't cut Vernon. But Kirksey, that's going to be a toughie, but I think we do cut him. I know I hate saying it. You know, he's been a class guy around here, one of our leaders, but injuries have just taken their toll. He hasn't been on the field. He's more like a cheerleader. And you can't, it's like, bro. And not to mention with the emergence of Mac Wilson and, of course, Sione Takitaki, who we should see a lot more of if we, don't re-sign Schobert, which I don't know if we will or not. I mean, with Barry coming back to be our GM, I could see us re-signing Schobert, but who knows? Ngakoue is going to stay in Jacksonville or go to the Giants. I don't think he's staying in Jacksonville. I think he's going somewhere, probably the Giants. But anyways, let's move on to our next selection, which is in the second round, 41st overall. Now, for my Buckeye fans, this name's going to be a little bit familiar because, in case you have never heard of this guy, Antoine Winfield. Yeah. I have the Browns selecting his son. Second round, 41st overall. This dude has been jumping up draft boards since the season ended. This guy's insane. And Browns fans have a running joke where it's not a real mock draft if you don't have the Browns taking Antoine Winfield Jr. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Joe Woods actually coached Antoine Winfield at Minnesota with the Vikings. So that's pretty cool. It'd be a good full circle story if he coached his son, essentially. But yeah, that'd be a great story. But we need safeties. Literally, I'm going to look up our freaking depth chart at safety right now. I'm going to go over who we got because it ain't much. It ain't much at all. All right. So here's who we got at safety heading into the offseason. You ready? Here we go, guys. I got it right here. This is who we got coming up at safety. All right, ready? Ready? Morgan Burnett, Charlotte Redwine, and that's really it. I mean, you have JT Hassel. They have him listed here. They have Montrell Meander, but those guys are like practice squad guys. Right now, we only have two safeties coming back, and one of them is coming off an injury. And the other one's a rookie coming into his second year. Yeah, I think we need to address the safety position. I know a lot of Browns fans are going to be talking about, was it Anthony Harris from Minnesota? He's going to be a hot commodity when it comes to Browns fans. Of course, Isaiah Simmons. I mean, I would love to have him, but I feel like they're going to tease us, and the Jags are going to take him right before we pick. Unless Browns are really aggressive, which, of course, Andrew Berry said he's going to be aggressive in acquiring talent. So we'll see how aggressive he gets. I mean, it's time to put your money where your mouth is, my guy. Last time you were here, I mean, we weren't actually that bad. Yeah, man. Freaking, we have no safeties. So that's where Winfield will come in. Let's say we get Winfield. We signed Anthony Harris, and boom, look at that. Our safety position is fixed. Now, what about Demarius Randall? I mean, we could bring him back, but we really don't have, we're not in a rush to bring him back. He didn't really play that well in a contract year, which is something. Usually players ball out in a contract year. He didn't really ball out, no. And then you have Justin Burris and Eric Murray. I could see us keeping Burris, maybe Murray. I don't know. By the way, if you're wondering who Eric Murray is, we got him in the Emmanuel Ogbah trade, who, by the way, is the Super Bowl champion. But yeah, let's taking Antoine Winfield Jr. out of Minnesota, the University of Minnesota. He's a safety. Great selection there. In fact, I'm actually thinking about doing like player profile videos and player videos where I talk about potential picks for the Browns. I might do that. I don't think so. It's just I'm still thinking if I should do that. If I do those videos, I'm doing them closer to the draft, maybe like a week or two or whatever before. But yeah, I have us taking Winfield, second round, 41st overall. Moving on to the third round. With the 74th overall selection, I have us selecting Malik Harrison, linebacker out of the Ohio State University. Now, this is going to be a pick, again, that depends on what we do in free agency, because we could easily bring back Joe Schobert. I mean, our linebacking core right now is relatively full besides Joe Schobert, who is, of course, a free agent. We could also get rid of Christian Kirksey. Guys like I could see like a Darius Taylor. He could honestly be cut. I don't know. He didn't really do much at all. Willie Harvey, Trayvon Young, Tay Davis, who actually did not do bad, and then Jermaine Grace. So most of the guys in our freaking linebacking core right now are all practice squad players. Aside from Kirksey, who's probably going to get cut. Taylor, I don't know if we're going to cut him, honestly. And then Taki and Mac Wilson. Those four. And if we bring back Joe, that's five. So I could see us maybe addressing linebacker in the draft, and Malik Harrison would be a great pickup. I mean, he's one of the best linebackers on Ohio State last year. Right up there with Warner and all them. Oh, yeah. He'd be great. Warner, whatever. Was it Pete Warner? Yeah, Pete Warner, whatever. For some reason, when I say that, I think of like Fred Warner from the freaking Niners. That's weird. But yeah. I mean, I would love Malik Harrison. I'm not going to get too in depth with these other picks because this is probably not going to happen. But yeah, moving on to our second, third round selection. We have two of them, I believe. 90th overall pick. I have us selecting Hunter Bryant, tight end out of Washington. We know how much Ken Stefanski loves his tight ends. And it honestly wouldn't shock me if the Browns, signed a tight end in free agency, like Austin Hooper. He's probably one of my top targets in free agency if the Falcons let him get to free agency. But yeah, I wouldn't mind it. And then my final pick, fourth round, 112th overall selection. I have the Browns selecting Jonah Jackson, guard out of Ohio State. Now, he was actually a grad transfer out of Rutgers. He did very well with the offensive line for Ohio State, very reliable, and he'd be a very good depth selection. I mean, again, looking at our offensive line at the moment, I mean, it's pretty it'll be pretty much intact next year, aside from probably Greg and maybe Chris Hubbard. The backups probably are going to be a little bit different. But, yeah, I could see us maybe going after Jonah Jackson. Oh, yeah. Just looking up something real quick here. Making sure I got all the picks right. Pretty sure I did. I just want to make sure I didn't miss like a pick or something. So I've been using like mock drafts to get the number of the pick. But yeah, we have a 1, Okay, so we did have 2 threes. Okay, but yeah, the Browns at the moment have a first, a second, 2/3, of course, a fourth, no fifth, a sixth, which is Arizona's, and a seventh, which is Green Bay's. Biggest offseason needs: tackle, of course, safety, interior offensive line, which I addressed in this mock draft. Edge rusher, I could see us going edge rusher in the draft. Linebacker, again, address that. Wide receiver, surprisingly, that's interesting. And tight end, again, address that. So boom, there you go. I addressed almost all the needs in 4 rounds of the mock draft. Now, of course, I'm not Andrew Berry, and I have no scouting experience, so I don't know what Barry's thinking right now. And it'll be really, really interesting to see what we do in the draft. You know, I mean, I could just see it now, man. That when I see pick is in, my head's going to be like, okay, what are they doing here? I'm thinking tackle. Watch them freaking go out of nowhere and pick a freaking receiver or something. I mean, I wouldn't be mad because you're getting Baker weapons, but please don't sacrifice Baker Mayfield to the freaking football gods like freaking the Colts did with Andrew Luck. By the way, speaking of which, we brought back that freaking bum, Ryan Grigson. We're bringing the gang all back together now. Yeah, he was here during the 0-16 season, although his position on the team is much lower on the totem pole. I believe he is like only like doing like consulting and advising now. But yeah, he's still not very good. Not at all. Like he's no. He's part of the reason why Andrew Luck retired so early, because for so many years he neglected an offensive line, and he pretty much got him killed. He sacrificed Luck, bro. Like he neglected his quarterback, and that's something that you don't do. And we should look at what he did in Indy and go, we don't want to do that. We got to keep our quarterback healthy and upright. That's why I think we're going to go heavy in an offensive line this offseason. I could see us maybe a starting right tackle, maybe a starting guard. Maybe we trade Hubbard for a pick or two, whatever. I don't know. You know, just let Robinson walk, or we could bring him back as a backup. I don't know. But I could see us going hard after offensive line in the draft and free agency. That's number one priority. But, yeah. That is pretty much going to do it for the mock draft. What's up, Harry LaFontaine? Dingleberry, what's going on? Chub Dog, oh my God, I haven't heard that in a while. Grigson sucks, but trust the process. Trade down anywhere to get more picks. I bet you we could trade down if the guys that we want are not there. Harrison Bryant from FAU in the 3rd. Yeah. Yeah, I got us taking Hunter Bryant out of Washington, a tight end. I know there's like a tight end out of what, Dayton, that everyone's got their eyes on. I'm going to be, it's like Rutschman or something, Hutchman, something crazy like that. He was making some noise at the senior on Twitter and stuff. Very impressive. What was it like? It was one of those freaking college bowl game, like senior showcase games, I think it was, or as I call them, college showcase games, like the Senior Bowl or freaking NFL PA Bowl or whatever the heck it is. I think he was balling out in one of those games. I'm pretty sure. I don't know what it was, but I just heard his name a lot. I'm gonna have to when I hear his name again, I'll have to maybe talk about him a little bit more. But I could see us going after that guy like later in the draft. But in fact, before I get on out of here for the night, let's take a look at the Browns' current coaching staff situation. I know we are almost done filling it up. I think we're mainly going after assistants right now. I haven't heard anything about a QB coach. Most likely that'll be Alex Van Pelt. But right now, yeah, we got, of course, head coach Kevin Stefanski, offensive coaches. You have offensive coordinator Alex Van Pelt, run game coordinator, running backs coach Stump Mitchell, pass game coordinator, wide receivers coach Chad O'Shea, tight ends coach Drew Petzing, offensive line coach is Bill Callahan, assistant offensive line coach Scott Peters, offensive assistant is J.C. McCartney, and then on defense you got Joe Woods as the defensive coordinator, Chris Kiffin D-line coach, Jason Tarver linebackers coach, and pass game coordinator, defensive backs coach Jeff Howard. And then, of course, you got the returning special teams coaches, Mike Prefer, and the assistant special teams coach, Doug Coleman. So, yeah, that is going to wrap it up for this live stream. Shout out to everyone who came in here. The next one of these will be after the combine. Well, no, yeah, after the combine. Might even just wait until after the freaking – I'm going to do one after the combine, and then I'll be back after free agency gets underway, maybe like a week or so after. We'll see what we do in free agency and see how that affects our or my picks. But that will wrap it up. So yeah, not really much else to talk about. I may or may not have an Indians video out at some point this weekend. Word on the street is Domingo Santana is in Goodyear, Arizona, taking a physical. In fact, I was watching MLB Network earlier today, and it said that it's a 1-year deal for Domingo Santana and the Indians, pending physical. So once that becomes official and it's pretty much a done deal, I will make a video talking about that whole thing. Go through his stats and everything, see how he looks, and then look at our outfield with him in the outfield, because it's not the greatest outfield, but honestly, I mean, I've seen worse. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I'm Crazy Dog at 99, and if anything else happens, of course, I'll make a video about it. Just promote Daniel Johnson. Yeah, it's a possibility. Combine will be prime time this year, 4 to 11. Really? Damn. Oh yeah, I heard about that. It's like 4 p.m. start time. Just signed Puig. Yeah, Trotman. That's who I was thinking of. Trotman, protector. Baker. Yeah. Leading the league in Ks. But yeah, I'm gonna get on out of here, and yeah, because we might not contend, or because Dolan's a freaking cheapskate. But yeah, I'll see you guys probably definitely on Saturday, because All-Star Saturday night. So anything doesn't happen between now and then, I'll see you on Saturday. I'm Crazy Dog. Let's go Browns. And I'm out.